Hey there, it's Trisha, and I wanted to go over the trades that I took today, February 9th. I used two setups, one off a longer tick chart, one off a smaller tick chart, but we always drill down to our smaller tick chart using three charts with indicators for confirmation before ever getting in a trade. And you can check those out at www.easyeMinitrade.com. I wanted to just remind everybody that the beginning of the week it is a good idea to check the economic calendar just to see what is ahead for the week. And, according to the legend on this site, anything with a red star is are reports that will move the market. But I still would suggest being a little bit careful around the orange stars as well. Um, red star. You can see this orange stars here. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Bernanke speaks, so I'm not really sure what that will do, but just be aware of it. Like I said, it's just a good idea to know ahead of time what to expect for the day or for the week. This is the website for the economic calendar that I use. There are many of them, but as long as it's accurate, it doesn't matter which one you use. So this is the trade that I took today. It was at 10:37. It was actually like when the the blue dot appeared. It was like 10:36:40 or something like that. But anyway, we have price going sideways, indicator going higher. Right where this vertical line is, we've got our first blue dot. So as soon as we get that with everything in alignment on all three charts, as soon as this first dot completes, dot appears and we move on to the next bar, I hit a market order. Got filled over here at 864. Now I did want to point out that the trend indicator was not above 20, but it was rising and it was close to 20. So I felt confident in taking it. So anyway, that's something that you would have to decide for yourself. So if it was not going higher and below 20, then I would not have taken it. But it was, so I did, and like the divergence on the indicator here, so was willing to take the chance. So anyway, started with my 2-point stop, then I trail, move my stop to here, move my stop to here. And I always, as I want to remind you, use a quarter point below the pivot high or pivot low. So obviously we're using pivot lows here. Came close to getting stopped out here, but it did not get there. I missed it by a quarter, so that was great. Moved my stop to here, missed getting stopped here by a quarter, so that was nice. Moved my stop to here and actually got stopped out over here. So that was for a gain of 7. So that was a nice trade, and I was very happy with that one. I wanted to show you, this is on our smaller minute chart, and all morning long we're rising until just about 11 o'clock, maybe a little bit before 11, 10:50 thereabouts, and then we start down. And so you start to ask yourself, well, at what point can I start taking shorts? You can take them whenever you want, but for me, I don't counter trend trade. I always go with the trend, because personally speaking, I think it's easier to go with the price flow instead of against it. So you take the high to that point and the low to that point, like when we start going down here. So you go high, then the low, and go 50%, just exactly halfway in between. There's your 50%. So we broke it here, and I'm going to show you on the next chart why we wouldn't have taken it even if something's set up. But we didn't have a setup occurring. We have our trend indicator, and it's going down, and it's actually right on the 20 mark. So it's getting ready to cross below it. So you would not take that even if you did have a scalp trade setting up on that. So you would pass on that. So then we go back up, and then we start down again. We break the 50% mark again. And again, I'm going to show you on the next chart this spot, and this spot, all the areas where we broke that 50% mark, and show you why we wouldn't have taken those trades. So here's our longer tick chart, and this is why we wouldn't have taken those. The first break that I showed you on the previous chart actually came right down to the second moving average and never got below it. So as you know, for us to take a trade short, we want we want the price to be below both of our moving averages, and we're not. So as if you've traded a while or have been watching price action for a while, you'll know that oftentimes the price will come down to the longer time frame moving averages and actually bounce, and that's exactly what happened here. Bounced. The second break of the 50% mark that I showed you, again, didn't close below this moving average. So even if we have something setting up, we're not going to take it. And then the third one actually was over here as a bar before this one. That was the third break on the previous chart, and I'll go back to that here in a second to show you again. But realistically, what we would want is we would want this bar here to close. When this bar closes and is complete and goes on to the next bar, then we've closed below both those moving averages, and then we can go ahead and look for short scalp setups. So we did not have anything that set up right at that exact time, so we would pass. And you can do whatever you want, of course, but this is how I have everything in alignment, because it's giving me higher odds that the trade is going to go in my direction. Now, of course, you could be jumping in and jumping out and taking a point here and there, but that's not my style of trading. I want to move slowly. I don't want to have to jump in and out and take 10 trades in a day. Been there, done that, and I hated it. So this is what works for me, and this is how we gauge that everything is in alignment. So back to the previous chart. So we broke here, but on this chart, we never got below that moving average, and we got stuck there and bounced, as you can see. Break here. That's this one here. We actually got stuck there. It actually was here, but then we got stuck here, and then we didn't go below it until 4 bars later. So again, this is where we're moving down on the previous chart here, right here, but we never get below that 50% mark until here, but we're not below the 2 moving averages, so we pass. And then again, the third one actually was here, and this would have been the bar that if something set up we could have got in on. So again, just my way of trading, and you can trade any way you like. This is this is what works for me. So anyway, I took one trade today. It was off the scalp setup, and I had a gain of 7. And you can check those setups out at www.easyminitrade.com.